Oh.
Yeah. This will be how the episode starts. Just me and you, like, fucking dying. I'm sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to do this to you, but also suffer with me.
We're in it together, you know
That's
what I mean?
weird.
I was up anyway.
Fair, me too. Welcome to Pub Talk, episode one of them. Cheers. This is the morning after special, where we have come here after UFC 269. Dan and I, I'm not going to lie to you guys, we've had rough evenings.
What are you talking about, mate? I had a couple of sodas with the team after the fights.
If I tried to
Home by 7.
if I tried to call you now, what would happen?
I've lost my phone.
There you go.
That is I thought I would like publicly announce it on the show.
Yeah, so your missus can find out.
If anyone's trying to get a hold of me, I don't have a phone, and I will not have a phone for a couple of days. So,
do you know where?
Oh no, you know who I did bump into?
Go on.
Bump into after Kai's win, like Sean Shelby on the way out.
Go on.
And that's like the first time I've heard from him. I haven't like messaged
Since
the
the
UFC.
featherweight thing?
Yeah. Since like he's obviously seen it.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, what are you gonna do? Like 55, 45? I said, yeah, 45. I can make 45 quite comfortably if I get something good.
Yeah.
He goes, who do you want? I says, Korean Zombie. He says, injured. He says, what about Ortega? And he goes, oh, I'll have a look. I'll send you a list. You have a pick, you have a look.
You reckon you're fighting Ortega?
Was I amped up? I was also amped up after the...
You were quite excited when you came into the media.
Is that video out anyway? Well, obviously I don't have a phone, but I did like a video where they bring us like Modelo's and have like cameras and stuff. And I says, where's me? This is the second time. Volk last time doing shoeies. We walk around Modelo's, still no sponsorship. I says, I'll fight Brian Ortega for a Modelo sponsorship.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
We're here second. I already did it on video. This is a repeat. I'm telling the story about the video.
Well, Dan, why don't you just fuck me harder, okay? Listen. Well, that's a good fight. I'd like to see you versus Ortega. And then again, like if you do that, you're entering a division at the top tier immediately anyway.
Why not?
Why not? Let's go. Go big or go home.
Yeah. Well, it was about last night, like, doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Tai, knockout, Kai, knockout.
Yeah.
Both bonuses.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
Man, they were handing bonuses out like candy yesterday.
It just
like
doesn't
flying.
There's so many finishes though.
Yeah.
Like that was the best card. I didn't see the. I know Dustin got finished, but I didn't see the fight yet.
I know what you're like after fights. I would say that you probably weren't seeing anything.
No, we're in the car like back from Team.
I only saw one video of you backstage from Caroline Pierce, and it was you going, "Where's the beers?" like that, and she was like, "Where's the beer?" You're like, "No, it's one word, Caroline."
It's one word. I've told you. Where's the beers?
Fucking learn. Yeah, no. So okay, let's try. I'll try and find some structure to this goddamn fucking thing. Tai Tuivasa first of all. Fuck you. I'm trying. We're gonna get through
Structures. Go.
Yeah. Hold on. This will help. Tai Tuivasa. Fuck off. Don't up. Tai Tuivasa, first round was a bit meh. Second round came out, just fucking knocked the guy out straight away. It looked like he ripped his knee in half.
Yeah. It was kind of like the same thing as like Kai with Cody. Like he's just drawing him onto something, like trying to make him kind of just lose his composure and blitz and berserk. But both the boys, like they stayed patient. Like they did what they're supposed to do, stay composed and just wait. Like not actually try and rush anything and get the finish.
Before the fight, I kind of heard it in your voice that you were like really behind Kai. I know you're always behind you guys, right? But I felt like you felt this was a moment for Kai to like make a statement, right? And like really be like, hey, I've arrived. Don't ignore me anymore. And then he went out. And you said as well, like, oh, look, we're not expecting a brawl, but if that happens, we're ready for it. And then he punched Cody, and Cody went a bit insane. And, I respect Cody for, like, getting rocked and then still being like, come on. But
that's when he's most dangerous. Like, when he's backing himself into a corner, when he's putting himself on the fence. Like, that's when I, like, lost my voice just screaming at Kai, like, take a half a step back. Yeah. Like, this is when he's hurt is when he's the most dangerous. So you need to take that half a step back and be a bit more patient. But of course, for Kai, like I've known Kai in the gym since he was maybe like 15, 16. I've known him since he was 16. We've been training at the same gym. I followed his whole path, you know, from when he went to Tiger. Like I know his whole career. You know, I was there for like his first couple of fights. So to now see him like work his way towards getting a UFC title shot is like an incredible moment for me.
That's awesome. I also lost my voice last night, but it was from shouting at the stripper, over here, over here. That's not true. I told her to you get when you talk like that, I get the impression that a really big win for one of your teammates means as much to you as like a win for you almost.
Oh, I was going absolutely insane. Like that was
again. You came into the media room like a house on fire. Grabbed my penis.
We had a boombox.
Yeah, you did.
We didn't even have any. I think we had
Came
one
in,
beer.
boombox blaring. Where's the beers?
Actually, no one had beers.
No one actually did have beers.
It was rather.
But it was good for Kai, and then like I felt he was very. I also found it funny that you were like trying to coach him through his post-fight presser as well. He was like trying to be a bit humble. You're like, no, say who you're fucking beats. But man, Dana was asked in his post-event presser. That so Kai says he's not going to fight until he gets a title shot, and Dana was kind of like, huh, okay. She's like, that's good. I don't know but I don't know who else they'd turn to.
That's why you should never say that though. Like you should never say like your weight. Yeah. Like you should never say, oh, I'm gonna opt to wait.
Yeah, because they love that.
You are like, you back up the title fight. When's that title fight? When's the
January?
Yeah, like I would hang around. This is me. I'm a bit dumber than Kai. I would just extend a couple of weeks, and then I would make weight, and I would like back up. I would back up for the title fight. Like that has been shown to kind of guarantee the next shot. Yeah. Like the guys they're bringing in that are backing up and making weight for these title fights. Yeah. They're like that's the proof. Like that's you're the next guy and.
Usman did that for Darren Till's, Tyron Woodley, and got the next title shot.
Oh, there's a lot of guys that have got a title shot off it. Like it's.
Would you do it? Would you make weight to be a backup, or could you just not get your head in? Could you not get your head in? Like, oh, I got to cut weight.
I've heard guys and I know guys that have like backed up, and it is difficult. Like they're kind of lucky that, you know, like this guy's been training for 10, 12 weeks. Every day, like dieting, doing the full hog, you know.
Do you remember when Volko flew like 30 hours to be a backup?
Yeah, it would have been wrecked. He was like, what was it? He like flew to, where was that show?
He flew to like Canada.
Drove across,
then flew from there to there to there. Like it turned out to be like 30-something hours travel.
He would have been wrecked.
And then he came in, he was like super cheerful, like, oh, just happy to be here. It's like, fuck, dude, why? Why would you do that?
Because you just gotta make weight. Like the hard part about it is the fight. Like the stressful aspect of it is the fight. It's not the actual making.
I don't have a lot of money to my name, but you'd have to pay me a decent amount of money to do that travel because I'd just be like, fuck it. I don't miss it if I don't have it. I don't care, you know. Yeah. That's probably why I'm financially unstable. Main event, you didn't see it, but were you surprised Oliveira
won? I saw the finish. I saw the finish. I saw he jumped on his back. Like I know it was the third round, but yeah, we were driving back from T-Mobile to the hotel. They get in and out these days. There's no hanging around watching the fights. Yeah. You finish your fight, go through your media row.
Dominic Cruz got to watch the fight. I guess they just rolled you out.
Hey, he works there.
Maybe it's because you were screaming, "Where's the beers?" Like,
probably didn't help my case. Probably they were like, get Dan in a car, get him home.
But were you surprised Oliveira won?
Nah, not surprised he won at all. Like he's a whiz at the submissions, man. Like he's crazy. Not shocked at all. Like I was genuinely, people would ask me like I had some kind of insight to the fight or could tell them something they didn't know. Like they're like, oh, you're like a top
You're a
10.
Fighter.
Yeah, and you're just like, flip a coin. Like I would just flip a coin.
I feel like, to be fair to you, Dan, I feel like you actually do have a good analysis brain. If we remove this, then
but the amount of the thing about it, like actually breaking down fights and studying fights takes an incredible amount of time. Like,
not if you're Daniel Cormier, apparently. He doesn't do any fucking research.
It's an incredible amount of study. Like, you just have to watch hours and hours and hours and hours of film. Like, that's all. Like, that's all it consists of until you watch so much film that strong patterns start to emerge. You know, like so it takes time. And no one actually cares. Like, you know what? I used to do it when I did like podcasts and breakdowns and things like that. Like, you'd spend hours on something.
First of all, you've only ever done one podcast. It's this baby right here.
Like 10 likes. You'd spend a week breaking down a fight and just be like, this is going to be the key aspect in this fight. And people are just like, just tell us who's going to win.
Yeah.
So then you just go, oh, he's got red hair, he wins. And people are like, thanks, 1,000 likes. Like, it's incredible.
Well, I guess at some point, and this is like a larger conversation about media in general, the most inflammatory statement will get the most reaction, regardless what it is, right?
Yeah.
So Chael, who, I mean, I don't think he's ever really said anything inflammatory before or, anything controversial, but Chael said that Juliana Pena was going to win. And obviously that was treated with the sort of...
How crazy was that?
Mate.
I'm still processing.
As a media member, you're not supposed to show any emotion during the fights. I was in the media room standing up.
How do you guys do that?
Well, some of them, I don't. I was standing up going, oh, fucking shit, no fucking way. Like, how can you not? You're a fan of the sport. Why wouldn't you show emotion? I'm not like cheering for, I'm just like cheering the fucking madness of the situation.
It's like when you come out of the cage after a big win and there's like the whole media row and you're just like, boys, and they gotta just be, yeah, good work.
Well, some of them drink beer on media row, and I mean, I respect those. I wish I could get away with it, but I can't. But yeah, did you get, like, after Kai's fight, did you just tune out, or did you see any of the other fights? Like, for example, Juliana versus Amanda.
Yeah, I was able to watch that fight. Like, Kai was doing interviews, so we're watching that on the TV.
Would you agree with my assessment of that fight? That Amanda essentially got into an ego battle where she was trading punches with Juliana and was essentially thinking like, well, she'll go down eventually. They all do. And then slowly but surely started to like tire out from the adversity and then just kind of capitulated.
Yeah, just perhaps, didn't have the respect for her that she needed.
It was a bit weird. It was fucking mad sloppy. But I mean, like, it was a great fight, but it was just like they're both just winging them in. I loved it.
Yeah, like that's obvious. It's just an obvious like lack of preparation, right? Like, she didn't take her serious.
You think so?
Yeah, I think she didn't take her serious.
Have you ever had a fight where you didn't take the other guy serious and then in the fight went, this was a mistake?
Yeah, lots. Lots of times.
Basically everyone.
Yeah. It's like the funniest thing. It's like, I can speak from a fighter's perspective. Like, when you do, and you're like, oh, this guy's rubbish. Like, I'm gonna, like, it doesn't get you up for it because you're just like, I'm gonna beat this guy, and you actually get in there. It's like the same position that.
Well, that's why you move to featherweight, right? Like, how can you get up for just these like random fights? Like, you want bigger fights.
Yeah, you need something that excites you. You know what I mean? When you get a big name, like I remember when I got like Jim Miller or Ross Pearson. I was like, man, I've been watching these guys for a decade. Like, it really it brings the best out of you because it gets you nervous, gets you tingling, like wakes you up. Training's easy. It's easy to push yourself in the gym because you're just like, you've got a lot of respect for your opponent.
Have you ever had one of those moments where, you get in the cage and then you look across at the other person, maybe like, not Pearson or Miller or whatever, but you look across and go, oh fuck, I'm about to fight this guy. I've seen him on TV loads of times. This is mad. Do you ever like have a moment of clarity where you're like, fuck, this is like...
Yeah.
I always think like people who fight Aldo must have a moment where they're like, fucking Jose Aldo. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy fighting like the bigger name guys like that. I remember fighting Jim Miller because man, I'm a big Jim Miller fan. Like, watch him forever, man. Watch him like destroy people for like since I was just started watching the sport, and he's been at the top of the sport. And I remember, fight week, he was just like this humble, respectful guy, like floating around. I remember weighing, and I was like, all right, I'm looking for Jim Miller, intense Jim Miller, and shake his hand at weigh-in, and he's kind of just like looking over my shoulder, like not interested. And I was like, man, where is he? You know what I mean? And then we make the walk, get in the cage. I look across, and he's just pacing back and forth, and he's steaming, he's steaming. I look in his eyes, and he's sharp, and he's on, and that woke me up. I was like, this is the guy.
There he is.
I was like, this is the guy I've been looking for all week. I was like, that's pretty incredible. And it's like a lesson to learn as well. he just saves it for the cage.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't waste it on fight.
Like just burning energy.
Looking tough on fight week, looking tough on weigh-ins and all the face-offs and all this stupid stuff. He saves it for the cage, and he come on. But that was one of them. Yeah. When he was just pacing back and forth, I was like, here he is. This is the guy I've been looking for.
I love that. Most people would see that and be like, oh fuck. And you're like, yes! Are you one of the fighters that when you're in a fight, you're thinking through things, like you're having conscious thought, or are you one of the guys who gets in a flow state and they just don't really think about it until after? Which one are you?
It's like a balance. It's a balance.
That's a really helpful answer, Dan, thanks. Pick one.
Pick one. Any fight is just a complete like mixture of both. Like you obviously need to be thinking and sharp and breaking things down, but you also need to rely on your reactions. Like those are reactions that you train hours and hours on, decades inside the gym. So you need to rely on them to a certain extent. So it needs to be a mixture of both.
The reason I asked that, I was wondering if, going based off the last question about like, have you ever had that moment where you see another fighter and you're like, oh shit? Have you ever had a moment in the fight, like during the fight, where you have a real like solid conscious moment where you're like, that was stupid, or like, oh, that was weird, or like just,
it's a constant battle. Like it's a constant, your mind, like you can't be just locked on one thing. Like you have like quite an honest conversation with yourself, like while you're in there, you're just like, oh man, like
I'm getting tired.
But once from the outside looking in, like people are just like, he stayed solid the whole time, he was there and that. But there is just an internal battle throughout a fight the entire time. It's just an internal battle, and you just need to keep things on track. But of course, like no one can. If you go into the fight and you're just lock set, like this is gonna happen, and then that plan deviates, you shatter. That's when you see fighters like shatter and quit and like give their neck or something like that.
So that's what I was about to say. Like, so I've heard, I think it was actually Chael who said like, you see moments in fights where a fighter looks for the way out, right? Like you say, like they like kind of offer up the neck, like I'm ready to go home now, And it's like because they've had a subconscious conversation with themselves that broke them.
Yeah, and it's like, it comes back, you know what I mean? Like, if you just hang in there long enough, like, I know that it comes back. Like, it's like a constant wave. You're like, oh, I'm terrible. Oh, no, this is going great. This is going, I think I'm going to beat this guy. Oh, wait a second.
It's like 50 minutes of hyper anxiety just crammed into one.
Yeah, it's just a roller coaster ride. Like, you've never...
It's almost a weird thing to do.
It's a terribly dumb sport. Like I was coming into last night, just like terribly dumb sport. Terrible sport, hate the sport. Yeah. 2 big wins, like the boys, and to watch them like soak it up, 50K, but like change their lives, you know what I mean? And you're just like, I love this sport. I hate this sport, but I love this sport.
Would you say it's when someone wins, or even if you win, if your friend wins, is it happiness or relief? Which is it more?
Would just depend on the fight.
If they got the shit kicked out of them, then won, that's probably relief. But
that's how other relief. I don't know. I've had fights where it's just pure relief. I remember like UFC Auckland. Yeah. I was not even like happy with that. That was just because there was so much pressure. Like you go into it's your hometown. It's like a sold out arena in your hometown. You're like main eventing it.
Your fucking grandmother's over there. Like everyone's just around.
Everyone. Yeah. That's everyone in the crowd you've probably met at some stage of your life, and you're gonna have to see for the rest of your life. So there's like a lot of pressure there.
I think I asked.
So when I got like that one, that was just flop on the ground.
Just like thank God.
Thank goodness, because I
couldn't.
I gotta look at all these people.
I think I asked like Rob Font or someone. I can't remember. But I asked him like, would you rather? Which gives you more pressure? Fighting in the apex where it's silent and all you can focus on is fight, or fighting in front of a crowd? And he said, I'd much rather fight in front of a crowd. But obviously I'm not a fighter. But I would think if I had to fight in front of a crowd and I knew like my mates from school and my mum was there. Well, she'd never been there. She doesn't support me. But if my mates from school. My mates from school and like all these people that you know were there, I think I would find that much more of a pressure cooker. Like, fuck,
I hate the apex.
What if I fail in front of my...
I hate the apex.
You hate the apex?
It's not enough pressure. It's not enough fun. It's not enough on the line.
You did a good job against Dustin Poirier, mate. I think you had enough
pressure. I lost. There's not enough pressure. Like when you've got 20,000 people screaming at you, that wakes you up. That's adds more excitement to it. You know what I mean?
You do a mad job, don't you? Like just even talking about like, yeah, when 20,000 people are screaming for me to kill this other guy, I get hyped. You know, what can I say?
Yeah, I don't want to fight in front of 50 people at the Apex. It's not. There's not enough on the line. I need more on the line.
One thing I don't understand about the Apex is fans have started to be let in there now. Like, I think they paid $2,000 for a ticket, which is like,
crazy.
I mean, but if you were like a mega fan, you had money, it's like a pretty cool experience, right? But what I don't understand is they have an open bar and none of them are shit-faced by the time the main event's on. If I was there and they had an open bar...
They're all like athletes. And,
I'd be trying to climb into the cage.
What, everyone has an open bar or the VIP has
I think all the people who buy a ticket has open bar. And none of them are drunk enough.
I've never seen anyone drunk at the Apex.
I feel like none of them drink.
There's not enough people.
It's just annoying. You're wasting a good
enough
ticket.
people to like blend in. Wasted a good ticket. If I paid, let me tell you right now, if I paid $2,000 for a ticket,
yeah. I will be a belligerent arsehole by the fucking prelims.
I will be
yes,
200 kilos by the time I left.
I don't know if it's the same in Kiwi culture. I suspect it might be. Do you have the same thing as Brits do, where essentially if you hear the words open bar, it actually means challenge? You know?
Challenge.
Yeah, like, it's like, how much can I fit in my mouth? And it's just like, fuck. I went on, this is a mad tangent. You know, in Vegas, they have the big Ferris wheel. There's a big Ferris wheel in Vegas. It's like the link.
I haven't seen it.
It's fucking massive.
The high roller.
It's called the High Roller.
I'll have to check it out.
Anyway, they do a thing where you pay, I forget how much, but it's like, it takes 30 minutes to get around it. And you pay, and it's all you can drink for the 30 minutes. Yeah. I went on it, I asked for a whiskey and Coke, and I downed it. And she was like, you're not allowed to down it. And I was like, what, you're implementing rules at this stage of the game? Like, you said all I can drink. That is what I'm going to do. And she was like, no, if you do that, I'm going to implement a 1 drink every 5-minute rule.
Oh, that's still not bad.
What?
30 minutes.
For like little, like liquor drinks those that big. I should have burnt it down.
That's why I don't know about it. You know what I mean?
There you go.
That's why no one told me about it.
How was the after party, by the way?
Nah, just a couple sodas.
Hymns?
Couple sodas, pizza with the team. You know, I was in bed by 7 p.m.
This is the difference between me and you. I go all out and just take everything, and you go, no, I'm fine. I don't want to incriminate myself.
Church in the morning.
Yeah. Nah.
What's Janindu up to? Let's get the questions going.
You want to get the questions going? Well, Janindu didn't ask us any questions. He said that Dan, he just said you're a whore and he doesn't like you anymore. So you take that out with him.
That with a pinch of salt.
I was a whore. I don't think you were a whore. I can imagine you being like a good, well-behaved boy.
Appreciate you.
He may have lost his phone, but he's not lost his heart. That's a terrible joke. Prodex Claw, probably not his real name. He said, question for Dan. Have you ever been in a fight where the other guy does not know that you're a professional fighter?
I've actually, yeah. I've been in, it was funny, I've been in a fight before. The guy picked a fight with me. He picked a fight with me. He's like, went out of his way to pick a fight with me. And I was like, yeah, all right. Like, he's like, you want to fight? And I was like, yeah, cool. And then he shaped up and I hit him and he goes, whoa. He goes, nah. I didn't know you knew how to fight.
I didn't know you could punch.
Yeah, he goes, I didn't know you knew how to fight. And I was like, how's that my problem? I was like, the fight's...
We've started
I was
now.
like, the fight's already started. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. He's like, yeah, but I didn't know you could fight. I was like, so you're okay with beating me up? But you're not, you see a skinny white guy, you're okay with beating him up, but you don't want to have a fight. Don't make no sense.
But then you and Israel became friends and it's all good now. I think in the UK, if you're a licensed boxer, you have to tell people before you fight.
Bullshit.
Is that bullshit?
I think that's some bullshit.
It probably is bullshit. I mean, I tell them anyway, just so they know, like, listen, don't fight.
Just so they know. Just so
don't want to fuck with me, bruv.
Just if they got
I will cut you with
any doubts.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't get started on because obviously people look at my physique and they know that it's like fucking pretty serious. We're seeing a lot of UFC fighters peak in the 30 to 35 year range these days. And then he talks some more and I can't be asked to read it. He said, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from a loss and what techniques are going to get you to that title fight?
Yeah, but the start of that question to where the end of that question was is like two completely
You read
different
it. You read it
questions.
out loud and tell me. Please don't scroll through my phone.
Two related questions. I want to. We're seeing a lot of fighters peak in the 30 to 30 range these days. Seems like it's usually due to lessons learned and a newfound mastery of their favorite, sometimes newest techniques. Yeah, that's two completely different questions.
See?
Yeah, like MMA is like a funny sport in that I really want to swipe that.
No, you don't. You don't need to see that
That's so
purple.
tempting.
You don't want to see that purple-headed womb ferret. Anyway, crack on.
You really distracted me from the question. No, well, MMA obviously is not like football or basketball where there's a certain skill that you acquire and then you have like your athletic peak, which is, most guys are retired by mid-30s or mid-30s in the NFL or NBA is like an older player. You know what I mean? But that's like your average MMA fighter. Just because I feel like there's so much more skill to accumulate. Like you can spend your lifetime, get your black belt, then spend a decade boxing or kickboxing, and there's just so much skill to acquire that athletic window is not as important because you can acquire so much extra skill to counteract it.
And it changes by weight division as well, right? Like heavyweights seem to go older and lighter weights seem to go. Speaking of like, this is a random tangent, but about older fighters, I know there's a lot of them, but like Muhammad Ali, like I'm a big boxing fan, like I know you are as well. Like, I was watching a thing about Muhammad Ali, and it's crazy to see like when he was like he had his fights with Frazier like in his 20s, and for whatever reason you just sort of see him like no, he'd be an old wise man, but he's in his 20s having these mega fights, and then you see by the time he's like 33, he's already fucking like fucked basically. Sad.
Yeah, terribly sad.
Did you know? I have a tattoo.
What a way to derail it.
Is
it on your ass?
No, it's on my ribs, but the guy fucked up the face.
Oh, you showed me that last week.
Yeah, okay. Ignore that,
Show
man.
the camera.
No, my parents don't need to see that.
They haven't seen it. Well, you've never taken a jump in a swimming pool when you get back home?
No. In England, there's not many occasions for going swimming. And also, no, I've literally kept...
I feel like if I got a tattoo, my parents would see it.
It's ironic because they give me loads of shit about
Yeah,
it.
well, I'm only wearing these little shorts. Like, where would
I wear like a full body uniform to hide them all. And then it's ironic because my dad's like got his own name tattooed on him. He's like, oh, you can't be getting shit tattoos. Like, you got shit. Anyway.
You might forget.
Question for Dan. Will you move into media coverage / podcast after your fighting career is done? And then question for me, will I be upset or proud when Dan takes my job?
I don't know. I just do things that are fun.
I think you should, man. I think you're very good.
Yeah, but I just do things that are fun. That's it. If it's fun and if it's easy, I will do it.
And here we are.
And we're at the pub. You know what I mean?
I think you're underselling yourself. I think you're very good, mate. That's all the compliments.
Fun and easy. Yeah. It's my job.
There you go. Like fighting professionally. Not fun,
easy.
not easy. It's not easy.
For me.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Question for Dan. If you had to make two celebrities fight in an MMA match, who would they be?
This is the same question
Yeah,
I got
I asked that before, didn't I?
Justin Darden and Francis Ngannou. I still
standing by
I don't know.
Come on.
Might leave her alone.
Yeah, probably just
leave her alone.
Probably just leave it alone. Don't need to get political. It's a Sunday. Would you fight Francis Ngannou if the money was right?
Yeah.
You're insane.
Why? What do you mean?
How much money is right to fight Francis?
Like, not as much as you think.
Reebok coupons and 10k.
Hey, 10k, now we're talking.
Who's your dream fight, current or retired?
Oh,
sorry, I forgot to name all these fuckers.
Yes.
Listen, lads.
Next episode.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. What did you say? Dream fight, current or retired? Bob Sapp.
I don't know. It's not too much about.
Do you not have people that you're like, fuck, I love that guy, like I'd love to test my skills against him and stuff like that?
Nah, I'm like of the opposite. I'll fight absolutely anyone.
should have guessed that, really.
I'll fight anyone.
For anyone who hasn't picked this up, Dan Hooker, if he was any more casual, I don't think he'd have a pulse. Fucking guy's walked in like, all right, and then
She is low. She is low.
I can't. What is it, like 30 fucking beats a minute?
I feel sad. We're rapping. Hey, for the last time.
Oh, you're trying to end it already? I've got more questions. You can't.
Hit me.
All right, only
Janindu. Only from Janindu.
We've got 3 more. Is there? That's a shit question.
You're gonna finish it on
Who's your favourite MMA fighter growing up?
Anderson Silva. I used to do I did that in my first fight. Like, you know, you back yourself into the cage.
Did you?
Yeah, I did that.
Pedo.
I was just straight,
Should be ashamed
just straight copying. Just copycat.
If you're the hangman, shouldn't you just be like,
well, I wasn't the hangman then.
Oh, okay.
You don't have your first fight.
Excuse me. I apologise. Last question. What's a bad travel story that you've had experience?
What's the bad question you're gonna ask?
Oh, the bad question was, well, now I'm gonna fucking embarrass the cunt, isn't I? It's
Read his name out.
King Dome. Sounds normal. He said, "We know you love a good drink after a big win, but is there a specific meal you like?"
Nah.
If you, yeah, thank you.
Okay, I understand the question. All right, ask the real
A
one.
bad travel story or moment that you've ever had, travel scare, like a genuine travel moment.
Nah, I don't like stress.
Like sketchy taxi, bad flight, weird place you stayed at.
That's like exciting to me though. I don't.
There's needles under this bed.
I don't get stressed out from stuff like that. Oh. Like you get there, or like the taxi driver's shady, or he's takes you down a dark road. I'm
Dad's just in the back of the fucking car.
Yeah, I'm like, here we go. I'm just like, this is taking a turn. I was just going.
Bad travel story I had. I went to TheMacLife, which is like a party island. I was there for 4 hours and I ran through a window because I was just like super excited. I slashed my arm open.
Oh.
And wasn't great. The bone was there. I was like, oh, need to run that under a cold tap. And then I collapsed. They called an ambulance.
That is mad.
It was pretty bad.
They
called an ambulance for me and then they had to perform. So day 1 of the holiday. And then they gave me antibiotics. So like, you can't drink on these. I was like, I came here to drink. I'm going to fucking drink. And it was fine. I can't feel my fingers. It's probably fine.
Good as you. You know what I mean?
Right. Anyway, that's a wrap on. I'm going to say this. This is my get out of jail free card, Dan. Season 1 of Pub Talk.
Season 1.
Because when the next variant comes in, you're back here and you're stuck again. You're fucked.
Omicron 3. I'm moving.
There you go. But no, it's been a pleasure. I know we did this before the thing and you just gave me like no emotion at all because you're a dead robot inside. But I really enjoyed this. you're fucked.
I am.
You actually are dead. No, it's that. By the way, just to clear this up, we don't talk. The only conversation we have is I email him and say, this pub at 3 o'clock, and he goes, okay. And then he walks in, we put the mic on, and we start filming.
But that's everything. Like that's my interactions with the UFC. Like that's my.
I believe it.
This is my interactions with Sean Shelby. I guarantee in a decade, there's been under 100 words. He just sends the name. He just sends the name, sends the date, and I go, cool.
When we first started,
send him back the emoji.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna. When we first started, I spoke to the Submission Radio. I was like, does Dan text you lot back? And they're like, oh yeah, like maybe one word. I was like, okay, cool. Like then I'm getting it.
What? I don't waste words. You just see you there.
That's true. Well, Dan, I appreciate it, mate. What? Oh yeah, fuck! I got you a T-shirt.
I saw that before it started.
Forgot about that. Oh fuck! I've dropped it. Back in a moment. I got your T-shirt, but I didn't know if you're a large or a medium.
Check that out. I'll take the large.
I don't know which one's which.
You read them. They're on the necks, mate.
I'm getting on it.
This feels like a medium.
Okay, well this is a small. So that was a mistake. What's that one?
That's the medium. I'll take the biggest one.
Okay.
You got a small.
So, only because I want to look tight and European.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Well, anyway, look, that's the T-shirt for you. Isn't that exciting?
How good's that? How good is that?
$33 good. That's how good it is. I know, mugs. Absolutely.
Season. Should have put season 1. To be continued.
Okay. I was about to say I bought that T-shirt and you're telling me to correct on that. You should be very
Don't
proud of
take
that.
it.
All right.
I am.
Emotional goodbye. Fuck off. Cheers for watching, by the way. And also, by the way, I'm sorry that this one's been a shit show. Like, we're one of us is struggling a lot, and the other one's putting up with it.
I really didn't feel like I was going to show up today and be the one that was on.
I was telling Kat, I was like, I bet he doesn't show. And then like 4 minutes too, I was like, I hope he
Carried it.
I
carried the whole thing. I carried it all.
Okay.
I have a fan vote who carried episode.
He said,
whatever
do a
this
fan
is.
vote who looks worse.
You reckon I look worse?
No, now I feel like I probably look like shit. I haven't been to bed. Okay. Bye-bye, guys.
When you're this gifted, you can always give a proper gift. Rich and smooth proper number 12 Irish whiskey.